Welcome to Joy's Jazz Voices Live, where we're shining the light on great jazz vocalists from everywhere. And today I have the distinct opportunity to sit down and chat with the beautiful, talented Quiana Lynell. Quiana, if you guys do not know Quiana, she is a singer-songwriter. And she's now living in Louisiana, but she was born and raised in Texas. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right. She is the 2017 winner of the prestigious Sarah Vaughan International Vocal Competition. And she signed with Concord Records. She's performed with Terrence Blanchard, Patty Austin, Lettucey. This is just to name a few. And I think I saw a clip with Dee Dee Bridgewater. Am I right?
Yeah.
So fun. Her debut album, A Little Love, features standards and some blues, a little R&B. So I can't call it a jazz album, but it's amazing. I've played every track on my radio show, and I love it. I listen to it all the time.
Thank you.
So yes, love it. And I also love what Terrence Blanchard said about you. He said, when I first heard her sing, my initial thought was, who are you? Where have you been? And why am I just hearing you now? And that's what I thought too. I was like, who is this? What is going on? And that was back in 2018, I think, when you had just won the Sarah Vaughan contest and you had just launched your album. I think you had just, and then I saw you in Dayton at the Levitt Pavilion. We got a chance to chat a little bit, and I've interviewed you before, so we're catching up. Anyway, so welcome. I'm glad to be
catching up again. Checking in for you today.
Okay. Well, we can't go without talking about this pandemic. And
baby.
All right.
The life
you dropped. Yeah, you dropped your album, what, a year before the pandemic? Am I right?
And then you first. Yep, I was working on my. Your album has a cycle. You drop the album, then you're supposed to tour on that album. So I had went on I had a few, like you said, you saw me in Dayton. I had a few American dates, and then I had a European tour that ended right as the world shut down. I think we got home March 13th, world shut down March 15th. It was crazy. And to be out there, I can go back on it, to be out there. And I'm the worst at being aware of what's going on. I'm such an empath that I shut out the world. And I only let in things that I need to know. Sometimes that could be bad because I should have been noticed. But we get back and I was like, wait, there's a what going on? Like I had no clue. And I was super grateful to have done the dates that I did, had a very warm welcome in Europe. It was amazing. But since then it has been like a struggle. Like, I am a touring artist. The touring comes first. And so there has been no touring since, I did a small run last fall. A few things opened back up, but as of right now.
So how did you feel that first year? Because I was like stunned. I was honestly just stunned. I couldn't, there was no inspiration. It was hard for me. And, we're musicians, singers, you're supposed to bring the healing.
I needed to be healed. Like I was like,
that's what I'm saying.
I got a dog. If I wouldn't have gotten that little puppy, like I was going through it because if you know my story, the things that I did to get to where I was, I took these leaps of faith and planned, and then to be in a position where there's unsurety and unrest, it's just like, what do I do now? And ultimately kind of back in a position where I had started, like, what is going on? So it was, those first few months were very, very complicated. Did a lot of, soul searching, as people say. reflecting and writing. I didn't want to sing for a long time. I was playing bass, did a lot on piano. Singing wasn't what really brought me joy at that time, but it eventually came back.
What turned it around for you?
You know, my main accompanist, my one of my best friends is Daniel Meineke, and he would send me songs. He'd be like, "Oh, we need to put this in the book," and I'm like, "Book? We ain't got no book. We ain't got no kids. What are you talking about?" I'm so emotional, you know. And he's like sending me to us to learn this, and I'm like, "Okay, I got time." So he would send me things to learn and send me things to work on, and we developed this show that we're doing right now, and it really goes back to how we began our relationship and our conversations through music, as well as our conversations on the phone. Like, he's best friends. He knows more about me. Like, I always tell him there's a invisible NDA whenever we get together, because he knows all the juice.
Yeah, all right.
And he sends me songs, and then I'll be like, "I can't sing that. That's like angry." He's like, "Have you listened?"
This is your keyboardist, right? This is your piano. Yeah.
Meineke, he's from Toledo by way of Detroit, and he lives here in Orleans now.
Okay.
And we spent many hours together, working together with students, as well as working together on stage, rehearsing, composing. We composed songs together. Daniel's like, he's my bud.
Oh, that's cool.
Me out of those places, and we did like some virtual shows. You know, we did a virtual festival, and then we were able to go out and do about 6 dates of our Pillow Talk show, just me and him, and it was just amazing to be. He's so sympathetic and so connected to what I want to do musically, and he's just like a bed of clouds that I just get to fall in, and I just make it just catches me.
That's great. That's great. I noticed you also lost some weight. Started working out.
Yeah, well, I had a revolution. I was like, you know, the only thing I can really control is what goes in my mouth. Like, I can't control whether I get a show, whether I get a gig, whether the gigs are canceled or not canceled, but I definitely can control what goes from the fork to the mouth. So I really took that to heart and just started taking control of that. I feel great. I drink more water than I've ever drank in my life, and I never thought that was possible. Like, never thought that was possible. But yeah, it's been the discipline that I've learned through taking control of my health and fitness has carried over in so many parts of my life.
Now, did you have a trainer, or did you do it all yourself?
Trainers. I have trainers.
Oh, you got trainers. Oh, okay.
I've had several trainers through my life. Like, this health and fitness journey is not something new. Like, I've been on a health and fitness journey probably the last 15 years, you know. But this last 18, 12 months has really zoned in on some things that I had never known were possible. Like, I completed my first cleanse, like, successfully without cheating, you know, and that's something I always used to do. Is I always used to cheat.
Oh, well, yeah. That's we can't do that. What's cheating?
I'm not going to eat anything, but what's cheating? So yeah, I was like I said, that discipline and that self-control that I was able to harness, because there was nothing else to distract me, you know. Like,
yeah, that's true. That's true. Well,
or I'm in the, you know, like, I mean, there could have been. I took that time to say, this is what I'm going to do, and it really helped me.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
I do like controlling. I've learned I like to control things. And
well, of course, yeah.
You know, I feel crazy, so I can control that.
Right. And you have 2 teenagers, right? Yeah. So, how would they describe their mother during the pandemic?
Girl, they were like, what is she on today? Like, I feel like I would start these projects and they'd be like, "This is what we're doing today, Mom." Yes, we're doing this today. Like I'm always reinventing my. She's like, "Okay, I'll read a book," and I'm like, "All right, I'm changing my parenting scheme," and they're like, "I'm no longer gonna do this. We're gonna talk it." They're like, "All right, so."
Hey,
They're along for the ride because
yeah.
I'm always trying to be the best version, and that means
Wow.
throw away that old one and start over, or you
Hmm.
keep pieces of it and you start anew. And I want them to know that's okay, like
Hmm.
that.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what
That's a
life
good
is.
example. That's what
Yeah.
life is. That's for sure. Now you started off with one dog, right? Don't you have two? Or am I wrong about that? I noticed you have. Oh my! I totally missed.
Now
I totally missed
right.
the third
I'm
one.
now a dog breeder, and I'm opening a kennel. Like this dog
That's
thing
right. I remember you doing a dog show. Didn't you
is
do a
right.
dog show?
To a dog show. Exactly. I'm a dog trainer. Yeah, the
Uh,
dogs have become a major part of my life, and I'm a
mhm.
promoter. Like I want in the near future, I'm gonna offer like dog therapy where people who feel like they can't afford a dog or don't have a dog or even kids, can come meet and
Mhm.
experience time with the pet. Because I'm telling you, that little girl, she saved me because it was
Yeah.
some dark times. Like I
Yeah.
was going through, I was home. There was you know what it was. I just
Mhm. Yeah.
take the whole
Yes, I
calendar.
do.
Like I'm telling you that like the January 2020 was supposed to be
Right.
and
Right.
then
I remember. I remember. Yeah.
all the gigs, my year was planned. Like I had all these things, and that all just went.
Yeah. Yeah. That's tough. It's
But
tough
and
to.
and I'm glad you brought up my children because we did get closer than we've ever been. We talked about things, we grew in ways that like I thought we were close, but we became even closer.
Mm,
And I was able to stop and listen to some things that they had been, trying to tell me or express that
right.
because of the hustle and bustle of our life, our life revolves a lot of times around mom's not going to be here, mom's going to be here, mom's coming in, mom's, so
Right.
be able to have that removed and be able to talk about things without running away, without it being, oh, I'll be back next week, we'll pick this up.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
It was a really good point for us.
Mm-hmm. That's wonderful. I did a lot of walking,
Mm,
and it was so nice to see the whole family out walking.
yeah, yeah.
Little kids, dogs, mom, dad, because they couldn't do anything else.
We
Couldn't
did
go
bike.
anywhere else.
Right, right. We rode bikes.
But
That's how the fitness started. We had bikes and we would go ride. I live out in the country and
hmm
we would go ride our bikes for about 12 miles. Or I would go ride 12 miles and then I'd make them, I'd like, come on, get on your bike. We're gonna
right.
and all right, here we go. Mom's on this bike kick. So I got all the
Right.
bikes and we're riding bikes and it was a really good time to reestablish that family bond and that unity.
hmm hmm So how would your bandmates describe you as a band leader?
Well, I would hope that they would say what do they really say? Now you got me going. Like my drummer would say, "I'm a big sister he never had." All right.
Yeah.
My bass player would say, You got to come with it." I'm hard on bass players. Like the bass is like my favorite tone. Like, and
Mm-hmm.
not just the upright bass, but like any bass sound. So like Barry sax. I love
Mm-hmm.
sounding instruments, and I think that comes from my dad. My dad sings bass. Like
Oh.
and he sings bass in like a cappella choir where he like sings the root, like he sings like a
Mm-hmm.
like upright bass would. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm really hard on my bass players. But they would say I'm a good person. My pianist, Daniel would just smile. I'm hilarious. I'm funny. You just never know what you're gonna get. It's like a box of chocolates. That's what Keanu like. Depending on what day it is,
Yeah.
depending on what you went on, how
Mhm.
I know it, how the it's
Oh
like
my
what's
gosh.
on today or what is gonna happen, but it's gonna be a fun adventure. That is
Mhm.
definitely
Okay. Okay.
I'm so
Uh,
last minute. Like the thing that you made me think about is like when it comes time for our shows, like we have a book and
mhm.
I have a form, but like there's audibles, there's always something I go, I'm
Yeah.
feeling this today, let's pull this
Mhm.
out. And so making that set list, like I will be walking on stage, no, 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 take that one out, put this, and they're like, all right, so what are we doing today?
Can you just call it?
Right, right. Or even I'll just say, Daniel, you call him. I'm gonna do whatever you tell me to do. And he's like,
Oh.
for sure. So I definitely would probably say they say I'm a barrel of monkeys. A fun time to be had. It's
A
never the
fun
same.
time.
It's never the same.
What do your audiences look like? What are they comprised of? What the demographic?
So these, I didn't do that. My audience are loving people that love music and love to be sang to. That's what here this last run and where I'm at now. I'm just like, if you don't want to hear these vocals, you may not want to sign up to come to my show because I am singing as if my life depended on it every time I get on stage. Like there used to be a time where I would be like, oh, that's too much, or Quiana, don't be extra. Baby, you getting all anything that I imagine I could do. Let me try it.
Yeah.
I'm trying those things at home, and I'm like, oh my god, that's hip. I got to do this on stage, or
Right. Right.
whenever the moment calls to me. I want to be able to make these sounds and excursions with my
Mm-hmm.
voice. That itself is what motivates me. Is that, like I said, I'm always talking about using my voice as an instrument, and
Mm-hmm.
it's inspiring to be able to create these tones and sounds that people are like, how did she do that? Yeah, she did it. I love that.
You do have some tools. So here's my puppy. Get down. Get down. It's like, where are you? What are we doing? Uh, so what do you think is the most important quality of a vocalist, I would say?
The most important quality I would say is a presence of self. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
so hard being a vocalist, especially in this
It
genre,
is.
because people want to compare you, they want to compartmentalize you, they want to make you fit into this vein of who you studied, who you listened to, where you
Mm-hmm.
like where you coming from with this sound. And
Mm-hmm.
that's cool. But at the end of the day, those things just inform my decisions and they inform my voice. And I've struggled so long with really actualizing that my voice is good, and that my voice
Mm-hmm.
is special. Like I really struggle with like, did people know my voice versus somebody else? Like I feel like my voice is kind of plain. And I'm like, why do I feel like no, it's definitely distinct. It may not be this, it may not have a crazy timbre, not crazy, but like super identifiable timbre, but it definitely has its own quality and things that you're like, oh, that's Quiana. Like that's a
Oh
Quiana.
yeah, for sure.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
to
Yeah. Yeah.
lean into those things, because sometimes we run away from those, like, oh, why do I do that? No, that's what you do,
Yeah.
and be okay with those things that you do.
I've heard some vocalists say that it's so important to develop your own sound.
Yeah.
Um, and then how do you do that? Like I sing like I sing, like that's my sound. What, what do you mean?
One of the things I tell my students all the time, because we do start with, it's humanistic to start with mockery. We imitate
Yeah.
things that we like. And it's
Mhm.
okay to imitate the things that you like, but don't fall so victim to imitating that you're only a parrot. You want to
Mhm.
imitate and then develop that into who you are.
Right, right, right. So you've worked with a lot of people.
Mhm.
Who is your dream collaboration?
Dream collaboration.
Don't you just have somebody? I just really want to. If you could talk to them right now, if they're listening, I'm sure.
Man,
Who knows?
like, okay, so Jonathan Baptiste and I did a show at Carnegie Hall, right? But I didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to record with him. PJ Morton.
Okay.
I like want to do. I'm on this duo thing. Like I feel like the duet, the male
Mm-hmm.
female duet, like the Marvin Gaye and Tammy Terrell.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That that is a place that is not serviced anymore. And I want to do a duet record with all of my favorite male vocalists. Y'all ready? Jameson Ross, PJ Morton, it's just so many people. I don't even want to name them, but I'll put that out there. I want to do a duet record of like good love, happy, like baby don't leave me. This is good stuff music, and you know what I'm saying? Like that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, you got Jameson Ross. You guys did. They all laughed. You got one song under your belt, so we can just start that. Off. He's definitely one of my favorite male vocalists. Just
his spirit.
His spirit, his sound. You're right. Some people just resonate, and I hear 3 seconds of his music, and yours is the same way. You probably don't even know it, but I hear 3 seconds and I'm like, I'm hooked. I'll listen to the rest, and that because there's so much music out there.
It is.
So to hear somebody who connects, you're like, okay, I want to hear the rest of the whole album. We're gonna play the whole album.
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, so who are you listening to these days? Who's on your I was gonna say your iPod. Who's on your list?
I'm actually doing homework right now because I'm working on an album and I'm really going in a different direction.
Okay.
I have been listening to like pop music. like American pop music and global, like what's trending globally. So I've been listening to some Adele, that record she just made. Man,
I know.
As a mom, I was like, wow.
I know.
Did you just read my diary?
Yeah. Right.
So
that's her. Yeah.
Jasmine Sullivan. Oh my God. Love her.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
That's another person I would love to work with, Jasmine Sullivan. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean,
she
but
is.
then I get torn because some people I want to work with as a vocalist, and some people I want to work with like. I hate to say this as like a vocal coach. It's not Jasmine Sullivan, but there's other people that I want to work with like as a vocal coach. Like, I wonder if we do some different things. It's a funny position for me, and I think about this all the time as a quote unquote jazz artist. It's like jazz is the only medium where the artists are also teachers. And we're promoting the legacy of the music and helping promote and create the next level of sound for it to continue. I see myself as like a griot, and like we're just passing in the drum circle our secrets. But it can sometimes it gets like, why doesn't Beyonce doesn't sit at home and be like, I would like to help? She doesn't think that. Why do I want to think like that? I don't know.
She might.
She might. She doesn't.
She probably does.
On her website.
Yeah, right. She does. She doesn't.
No.
She doesn't have Q-tips. The Q-tip of the day.
Look at you.
I be knowing stuff. What's I going to ask you? Let's see. You got me laughing. Let's talk about Pillow Talk. Let's talk about that. And what. Talk about that. Tell me how that came about and how it's going.
Pillow Talk is my brainchild. And it started during the quarantine as I was going through. And I tell this story. It's like the music that I would listen to from my pillow in my bed to the pillow in my bathtub. I took more baths than I ever had in my life, and I have a little pillow in my bathtub, right? Pillows on my couch, and then the pillow in my car, the cushion in my car, any cushion that felt me for a long amount of time. I'm that person that pulls up to her house and will sit there in front of the house for a minute before I get out. I don't know why. It's just something I do.
I do it too.
So, between listening to DJ Nice on Instagram, like all the things, the new music that I listen to from people sharing music online, and I created this show where I talk about dating and love and life, and I did online dating while I was at home, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like, what is this world? But that we're all in that same place.
Same
Like,
boat.
not all of us, but there's many.
Mm-hmm.
So the Pillow Talk show are those conversations between me and those pillows, whether they were, and Pillow Talk is also that intimate conversation you can have with your lover, that you're not supposed to be having, but we're gonna tell each other, like, you're gonna, don't tell nobody, okay, honey, this is what happened.
Right.
It's the secrets and the things that nobody wants to share openly, but we all feel. So I journeyed through that through music and songs and little stories and anecdotes that I want to share at the time. And because I almost feel like ultimately I'm a vocalist, but I'm also an entertainer in many ways. And so I'm kind of funny. I have jokes. I tell stories all the time. That's what the band would say. Like, Quiana's like, it's just so funny. And I'm always cracking jokes. I curse like a sailor, and it's horrible. But the Pillow Talk is just me being able to sing everything. So I go from If You Want Me to Stay to I Want Your Love by Chic to The Masquerade Is Over. So and those things can, like, The Masquerade Is Over. I've always loved Nancy Wilson, but the song took a different turn for me as my child turned 18. And my child no longer looks at me like, Mom, what do you think I should do? I don't care what I'm doing. I'm doing what I want to do. And that was a masquerade for me. Like, oh
wow.
This whole relationship that we've had, where I was giving you advice and you were listening and learning from me, can be taken away at the, like, whoop, at midnight of 18. I'm done. Nobody prepares you for that. Nobody gets you ready for that release.
Right.
And so that song takes a whole different meaning for me. But just talking about all those things and how, again, relationships, one thing that I learned really is that all of our relationships are the same, whether they're platonic, family, romantic, they all are the same. They have different nuances in them, but they all are built on the same thing.
Sure. Okay. Is this something that will be recorded, or is it just for live performance only?
We are working on. It's so hard to pick songs though, because it's such a live experience, and I actually have 2 recordings of it live from one of my new favorite places to perform up in Rockport, the Shaylin Lou. Oh my gosh. It is a beautiful facility, and we have 2 recordings of it live, and we're really toying over whether we're going to release them. But I think we're going to release a couple of singles. He's My Guy. It's probably going to be one. We do this really hip version of, well, Nancy did it. Everybody did it. But I think we're going to record a couple singles to drop.
Okay, good. Now, how does that work through your label? Are you recording it through the label or independently?
No longer with the label.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm independent now. All right.
Okay.
Independent. This is another quarantine, hey.
Yeah, sure.
The music industry is forever changing and growing. So I can do whatever I want.
Yeah. Okay.
And I'm
the advantages. Those are the advantages of being on your own. And you know what? You can do, I was just talking to somebody about it the other day. You can make a living being your own. I'm trying to make it. Is that right?
I'm not saying,
but you've learned some lessons.
No. That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying it's like peaches and roses over here, because the machine is it can be great. The machine is like, it gets the job done.
It limits you though.
Yeah, but when you have to do it, like I said, it's like I'm back at the beginning where I'm having to plan and save, and
but you've learned some valuable lessons, I'm sure.
Totally. And
valuable lessons.
I'm so grateful, to have been with the label, and it has poised me in places that I would not have been in without their support. So there's no hard feelings at all.
For sure. Now, streaming is not going anywhere. Live streaming and social media, none of that's not going anywhere. Do you think?
That's where I am now. I'm trying to get in the beginning of the quarantine and even before, like I've been very transparent about, I've always hated singing to my phone or singing online. Like that is I have ran from like the plague because it just makes me nervous that people are really going to critique and like be all in.
Exactly.
What is she doing? But I realized that's just how people want this randomness of,
No.
and you have to give people what they want sometimes. But I'm just so much more of a curated, like a special moment. So I'm navigating it right now. I just had a meeting and I'm navigating it on how I can still provide that special moment. And we just did a test. I did a test a couple weeks ago, had my first viral moment. Video has like 200,000 views. Never had
All
to
right.
have.
Okay.
And
All right.
it was just something that we created it. It was something special that I did, and I felt good about it. And it didn't feel like, let me just create some content, some cheesiness. You know, I don't know. It's a process. I blame it on my age a lot as well. You know, I'm an in between. I call myself a zennial. So cell phones, I'm cool with them. Technology, I'm cool with it. But I also love some analog stuff. You know, like
Right. Right.
it's hard. There's nothing like live. You know, like it's actually an
Nothing.
energy transference that's happening when I'm performing for people. I am sending them waves. And
Exactly.
if I can't see how my waves are hitting you, what's the point of me doing it? Like,
I know. It is. It seems like it's falling flat, but it's not though. I mean,
okay,
it really
all
isn't.
right. And
It
I
really
see
isn't.
that through the comments and people
Right.
sharing. I'm like, okay, y'all do feel it, but it
Right.
just, to me, singing to that phone and that camera is just like, because I'm such a like when the lights come on, you know, it's like action, and it feels like
Right.
a video, or it feels like a performance that's
Mm-hmm.
not as authentic and genuine, you know, and I
Yeah.
really live for that genuine connection. So
Yeah.
I have to change the way I think about it in my head, because
Mhm.
the consumer is feeling it that way, and
Oh yeah.
I forget
They
that I
need it.
don't consume media like other people do, so I have
Right.
to get out of my head.
Right. And people are starving. So,
What they
they're afraid to go to live shows.
Yeah,
So they'll sit online and watch a show.
yeah.
Um, all right. So you have Pillow Talk. I wanted to talk about that. You've played for big band. You've sung in front of big bands, duos, quartets, quintets. What's your favorite? What's your favorite kind of um, configuration?
They're all so special. They all have different things
Mm,
that you can't get from the other, you know? Singing in front of
mhm.
a big band is like, it's a feeling that you can't even describe. It's like this train is on your back going, "Let's go, let's go." It's like, "Wait, where are we going?"
Right. Okay.
You're riding this wave, you know, and you
Mm,
don't feel that in any other context. You know, a symphony is the same. It's like you're floating on this cloud of just,
mm,
ah, I ah.
mm.
I mean, I guess I would say I don't think I have a favorite configuration to sing with. I have a favorite like place. I love singing in concert halls when the
Oh,
sound
okay.
and the sound is good, and I can feel at ease with like my instrument is really being heard. I'm so selfish. I'm so ego. Like, are you hearing what I'm doing?
No, that is not. No, you're not being selfish. Because
I
if you're
love,
ever if you're ever singing and you can't hear yourself,
oh my God.
you think that surely you can't hear me. I
Right.
mean, do I need to sing louder and then it
And
just
that's
messes up
I love it when I'm in a
your whole
concert
thinking.
hall and this acoustics are
Sound
great.
is
I
just
have a great
perfect.
sound man, and it could be a trio, a duo, a big band.
Hmm.
It doesn't matter because I feel at home and at peace, and I know that everything that I'm intentionally doing in my brain is gonna come up.
Hmm. Hmm. Do you still get nervous?
Oh my God, yes, so
How do you
much.
handle that? How do you handle the nerves before the big performance, before the big, huge audience?
The best thing that I've ever found to handle nerves is preparation. When you're prepared, nerves
Mm-hmm.
are normal. Nerves are normal. You're always going to be
Hmm.
nervous. But
Yeah.
when you're prepared, you're not gonna let it debilitate you, you know? But when you're
Hmm.
not prepared, that's when them nerves be like, "Girl,
Yeah. You know you ain't ready.
Like, you don't know the
You know
words.
you need it.
You know that second verse. What's it start with? What's it start with? Word. Yeah, the
Oh,
biggest best thing I can do is be prepared. But also
yeah, for sure.
doing that, as like I said, as this has all ended, just like you were saying, people are starving for this. Like the audiences have been so inviting and so like just welcoming for live performances again that they're like you are when you're in that space, that's where you're supposed to be. They came because they needed what you had to give them. So don't let the nerves keep you from delivering the message and the warmth and the love and the energy that they need from you. So
Right. So one more question. I'm not going to hold you too long. I could talk all night, but where do you see yourself in 10 years? Where do you see Quiana Lynell? Your kids are gone. Your dogs are growing up. Where do you see yourself?
Man, in 10 years.
Okay, 5.
No,
we'll make it easier.
Okay, 10. We're gonna keep it 10. In 10 years, I will probably be living out on some ranch, growing plants and feeding cows and horses and coming out to sing when somebody wants me to. That's something that this whole situation has taught me that I really was kind of being reckless with my business, reckless with my choices, and I had to sit back and say, okay, business comes first. My livelihood, my children come first, and I can't be selfish and say I just want to go sing when the business isn't right or the structure isn't right, or if somebody misses their plane, it could make me miss my mortgage. So I'm at a place where if I'm supposed to go sing, it's got to be right, and that means from the rooter to the tutor, baby. Is my, that's my grandmother would say.
The rooter to the tutor.
That means that I'm valuing every piece of me and my time, my energy, my space. Because when you're gonna get everything that I'm giving to you, you're gonna be like, ooh, she deserved every single bit of it.
Right.
And
Right.
I can't be so thirsty for the ability because being on stage is like it's really like it's my happy place, and I would almost do anything to do that, but I have to be a lot more mature with those choices from now
What
on.
do you like most about it?
I like sharing I like taking people on a journey. I like like I said, I love talking about taboo things that people don't want to talk about, but we all feel. And it's like, you know what happens. And then I love seeing people be like, exactly, and I love watching couples when they're sitting at my show, look at each other like, is she like that for me, and that brings healing and growth and brings people closer together. Like that's why I do what I do, is to share love and just create moments that allow us to be closer together.
Okay, I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. All right.
On a ranch with a fine little boo, and we'll be, feeding the cows and the goats and making soap candles.
Making soap. Okay. I'll take that.
Outside of New York, I'm considering moving to Europe. Like, actually,
I know. Yeah, that's not a bad idea right now. But all right.
In the valley somewhere.
Right. Exactly.
A simple life.
Okay. Well, for everyone watching, you can follow Quiana online. She's everywhere online. Instagram, Facebook, you name it. She's everywhere. And you can see her website, QuianaLynell.com. Go buy A Little Love. I'm telling you, buy the album. Don't stream it. Buy it. You will not be sorry. I promise. It is the whole album from beginning to end is perfect. So I'm going to continue to play your music on the radio show, 89.5, Dayton's Home for Jazz. And we got to stay in touch.
Yes,
we got to get you back to Dayton. That's what we got to do.
I'm coming to Cincinnati.
Cincinnati?
I think New Year's next year.
All right. All right. Yeah, that's right down the road. Hour away. No,
Right.
That's right down the road. Right down the road. All right. Yep. Well, we're going to let Quiana go. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you. And everybody, please subscribe to the channel. Follow us on Facebook. Give us a thumbs up. All that good stuff. All right. We'll see you next time for more Jazz Voices. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much, hon.
Oh, thank you. Oh, it's a lot of fun. We definitely got to stay in touch. If I'm in the area,